All right, today we're going to talk about a ghost story, but for technology. It's a story about digital archaeology, really. We're going to look at a piece of software that was once thought to be gone forever, but has been brought back to life in a way you probably wouldn't expect.
So let me just start with a quick question for you. Think about the phone or the computer you're watching this on right now. Do you think it could run an operating system from, say, the early 1990s? I mean, it sounds kind of impossible, right? The hardware, the code, it's all from a completely different technological universe. Well, you might be surprised because the answer is a big, resounding yes.
You know, as technology just barrels forward, old hardware inevitably gets left in the dust. But what happens to the software that was built specifically for it? Well, it faces a kind of digital extinction. It becomes a ghost, just an echo of innovation that we can't really see or use anymore.
And a perfect example of this? Apple's Newton OS. We're talking long before the iPhone. The Newton was this revolutionary device with features like handwriting recognition. I mean, it was an OS that was years, maybe decades ahead of its time. But then, when the hardware was discontinued, the OS was effectively locked away, this brilliant piece of code just trapped inside a museum piece.
But what if you could actually free that ghost? What if you could take that groundbreaking 30-year-old operating system and just bring it back from the dead? Well, somebody went and did it. Let me introduce you to the Einstein Project. It's this incredible piece of software that lets the classic Newton OS run on the very devices we all use today. Our laptops, our tablets, even our phones. That operating system that was once totally lost, it's back. So how in the world is this even possible? Well, the magic here is a technology called an emulator. The easiest way to think about it is like a digital translator. It basically teaches your modern computer to behave exactly like that old hardware, creating this perfect little virtual home for the old software to run in, thinking it's right back where it started. So let's pull back the curtain a little bit and see what really makes this incredible revival tick. It's a really cool combination of some clever technology and a deeply, deeply dedicated team. And the team behind Einstein has done just an amazing job making it accessible to pretty much everyone. I mean, it officially runs on macOS, iOS, and Linux, and there's even partial support for Android, Windows, and the tiny little Raspberry Pi. So to go back to that question I asked at the beginning, can it run on your device? Yeah, the odds are actually really good. Now this really shows you the sheer technical challenge they were up against. This thing isn't built with simple modern web tools. No, we are talking about foundational programming languages like C++ and C, and even assembly, which is about as close to the bare metal as you can get. This is deep, complex work. They were essentially rebuilding a computer's brain from scratch, but in software. And who pulled off this monumental task? It wasn't some giant corporation with an endless budget. It was a small, passionate team of just 13 contributors. That's it. This is a total passion project, a global effort by just a handful of people who are dedicated to preserving this really important piece of our digital history. Now, if you want to try it, the process is surprisingly simple. First, you install the Einstein emulator. Second, you just have to give it a Newton ROM file. That's the core operating system. But that second step, there's a little catch. So here's the thing. While the emulator itself is totally legal, the Newton OS software is still copyrighted, still owned by Apple. So the project creators, they can't just give it to you. To use Einstein legally, you need to own an original Newton device and then extract that ROM file from it yourself. It's a really important legal hurdle that makes sure this whole project respects history without breaking the law. All of this kind of brings us to a much bigger question. I mean, beyond the fun of just playing with cool old tech, why does a project like this really matter? The answer is that this is way more than just nostalgia. This is digital archaeology. This is about preserving our own history. And this right here highlights a really unique challenge of our time. You see, we preserve physical things like books and paintings in museums because, well, they're stable, they last. But digital artifacts, they're incredibly fragile. Software doesn't just get old, it rots. The moment its original hardware disappears, it becomes completely unusable. It takes an active, constant effort to keep this stuff alive. And that is exactly why projects like Einstein are so vital. Emulators are so much more than just clever hacks. They're basically living museums. They allow us not just to see our digital past, but to actually interact with it, to experience it, and to learn from the foundational ideas of our digital world. They turn those ghosts back into something tangible that we can actually use.
This project really proves that with enough passion and enough skill, our digital past doesn't have to be lost forever. So it leaves you thinking, right? What other digital ghosts are out there just waiting to be resurrected? What piece of forgotten software do you think should be saved next?